this time, at least one investor dumped more than 85 million US Terra tokens in exchange for 84.5 million USDC tokens in this pool. This, of course, put even more pressure on the UST dollar peg as Curve continued to create the discount, hoping to incentivize arbitrage traders to rebalance the pool. Needless to say, that didn't happen. Now, we're going to slide back up because what's funny here, guys, is that this has happened before, and this is courtesy of the Defiant. I'm going to show you the headline here. Terra UST dip raises questions on algo stablecoins. This occurred in May of all times of last year, May 25th, guys. We're reading from the Defiant. Of course, links are in the episode guide, but this goes to describe what happened last year when the same event occurred. Of course, it wasn't as drastic, but what I want to show you guys was Do Kwon's response, and more specifically, what he said was possible. All right. Now, Terra co-founder Do Kwon responded to Clagy Movement's concern, saying that while the Terra system allows for swaps between the two assets to achieve stability, US Terra is not explicitly backed by Luna. As long as Luna has a non-zero market value, the Terra system can offer incentives to bring US Terra back to its peg, especially considering the stablecoin is actively being used in Chai's payment network with over 78,000 daily active users. This was in 2021. By the end of this video, you'll know that that number is way higher than that. And if it is higher than that, then that makes what he says possible even more appealing, guys. He says, as long as Luna has a non-market value, the Terra system can offer incentives to bring UST back to peg. He said this when Chai was only at 78,000 users. Don't worry, we're going to break down Chai, this payments network, shortly. But he said this back in 2021. The number was only 78,000. And I guarantee you guys, there are way more daily active users on this app. So if he's able to do this using some sort of extra collateral that isn't being mentioned, that isn't included in those 3 billion Bitcoin reserves that went missing, then popped up, then went missing again, is this the catalyst that we're waiting for? Because I can tell you guys, one, how the system is set up. He's stating, and I'll show you the tweet too. We have that. This is from May 24th of 2021. He's stating that as long as Luna has non-zero market value, basically, even though it plunged 99 to 100%, it did not go flat. He's stating, based off of how this happened last year, he's saying that as long as it does not go flat, we have an entire payments network to leverage off of and rebring the peg back to $1. Let's jump into this Chai payments network, guys, because they came along back in 2019. You can see here, courtesy of Terra Money's Medium. Terra partners with mobile payments app Chai to service the growing e-commerce marketplace. Now, Chai is currently available on Tmon. Tmon is the e-commerce platform that was also founded by Terra co-founder Daniel Shin. Okay, Daniel Shin, e-commerce master. Chai enables consumers to easily pay for items online by simply adding their bank account, similar to the experience of a PayPal. Now, this next sentence is what really knocked my red NBA socks off. Chai has already partnered with up to 15 major local banks to facilitate convenient fiat on and off ramp services. This app is also available on iOS and Google Play. So this is the Chai payments app, guys, that they are referring to here in the previous article, the one with all of the extra daily active users that can that liquidity can be leveraged in order to repay the Terra stablecoin back to where it's supposed to be. Again, you can access this full link down in the description. But what this Chai payments app is going to connect us to, guys, is something called the Terra Alliance. Okay. Now, this is just the visual here where this is going to take us. you wouldn't even expect. But February 27th, 2019, they're discussing the fate of the Terra Alliance. And what's I find to be the most interesting in this article is we get a picture, we get a visual of these payment companies, guys. And of course, we can see that Chai is listed here. Well, this is the app that incorporates all of these different e-commerce solutions. Okay, these are the e-commerce companies that came together to put Terra Luna on the map, essentially. Now, here's what makes Chai Payments, the payments network, even more of an important piece to this story. We jump over to Crunchbase, guys, and we can take a look at the investors for Chai, right? This is KT Investment, not a big name. Nordstar, kind of a big name. I've heard it before. Nika Partners, kind of heard it before. Samsung. Samsung next, as a matter of fact. And now Samsung is getting ready to launch a blockchain related ETF, much similar to what BlackRock just did. Or we'll get to them in a second. But Samsung is behind Chai Payments Network, plus SoftBank Ventures Asia, as well as B Capital Group and HOF Capital, which is another name that I've seen before. So those are the backers that are behind this payment app, which is built on Terra. Now, this is going to lead us to the Terra Alliance. And what I have for you right here is a graphic of all of the participating e-commerce companies that are within this Chai app. And let me tell you something right now, guys. This one right here, Ebates, Rakuten. Well, let me show you who Rakuten works for. This video would not be complete without an appearance from the World Economic Forum. Guys, the Rakuten Group, global leader in internet services that empower individuals, communities, so forth and so on. Founded in 1997, Tokyo, more than 1.2 billion members around the world. They make a lot of money, right? They've worked with XRP. I've seen them work with HBAR, so many different places, but they're also here too, guys. They're also part of this story. Now, when we go and Crunchbase got all the information on the cryptos, okay? But jumping over to Crunchbase, we can also see a more deeper picture of the money that is behind Terra Luna. We got Pantera Capital, Hashed, which I remember watching a conference when we were discussing the whole crypto untold narrative, the Ethereum, XRP, the private investors. They were hosting a conference. And that conference was the one where Mr. Mike Novogratz, who is, funnily enough, also on this list, but he was stating how he bought Ethereum from Vitalik over the counter at a very low price, and he, held it, made him some money, and he sold. Hash is a very important company. We also got Arrington XRP Capital, Kinetic Capital, and then Coinbase Ventures. Coinbase Ventures. Now, Coinbase's role in all of this is so peculiar, and I really pull it from just this one thing here. They are planning to suspend trading for Wrap Luna on the Coinbase app, but they don't plan on doing it until the 27th of May. The 27th of May. I just find that so strange because other platforms, they immediately responded, halting withdrawals and deposits. You couldn't trade it. Binance came out and said it. Huobi Global, Voyager, all happened to be investors in Terra, but they also did that. But Coinbase, much like their Super Bowl ad this year, was just incognito is about it. Okay. Now, I just find it very interesting that they have that date for May 27th. It seems just far enough to let everything die down. And then if something else were to occur, like they tap into that Chai Payments Network, then they can just reverse the decision. Okay. Because although they give you that announcement when you go and get Wrapped Luna on Coinbase, they also tell you that you can still send, receive, and store your Wrapped Luna. Again, more evidence of collusion, my people. You guys can now see why this thing affected me so much. But We got Galaxy Digital. Of course, we know about that. Mike Novogratz with the tattoo that says Luna and has got the wolf on it. I don't think he intended for that to be about Luna, but people are taking it that way. However, that's not the most important portion. The most important piece is that you guys see how much money went into forming Terra Luna and why they look to form Terra Luna. It's the programmable piece, okay? It's the programmable aspect to it. Now, shortly after the Terra Foundation, guys, we got the formation of the Luna Guard, the LFG, okay? Now, the Luna Foundation Guard is the one that's supposed to be holding on to the Bitcoin reserves and was supposed to be responsible for backing the stablecoin, right? The formation of LFG is a culmination of the lessons learned from the previous year in the market. It's a center of excellence focused on cultivating the tendrils of demand pivotal to the success of Terra stablecoins and solidifying the position of decentralized stablecoins in the market as the superior alternative to the incumbents. This Luna Foundation Guard was built to oppose US Tether, USDC Circle, as well as Binance USD, which is ironic because when we scroll down and we take a look at the LFG and who will be overseen and operated by an independent governing council, initially comprised of the following leaders and experts in the industry, which will expand to include leading builders in the system. Of course, we got Do Kwon. Then we got Nicholas Platius, a co-founding member of Terraform Labs. We have Kanav Karia, president of Jump Crypto. Jonathan Karras, project lead at Lavana Protocol. Jose Maria Delgado, co-founder of Delphi Digital. I know Delphi Digital is partnered with the World Economic Forum, but here's my favorite person on this list, guys. It's Bill Shin, head of Binance Labs Fund. Okay, the same Binance Labs Fund that is contributing to the work in Ukraine, that is contributing to NFT and metaverse development in South Korea and the United Arab Emirates. Okay, but here's what's even funnier than that. On the Medium post, you can see here, this is a mysterious figure. And then you also go to their website, lfg.org/team. Wait a minute, where'd he go? Where'd he go? He's not, we got Real Vision in the house, but Mr. Binance is not around. That is something that I think is very, very unique because the most outspoken person besides people from Terra has been Binance. Okay. The most amount of liquidity that was going in and out of Terra's ecosystem throughout this whole thing was coming from Binance. You guys are starting to see what I'm saying here. Now, it gets deeper. We are going to go to this tweet here. Okay. This is from Cyrus, ismoney.eth, dope name. But he says over 4 years ago, he was a research analyst at Scholar Capital, and the Terra Luna deal came across his desk, and he was assigned to it because he was the DeFi guy. Now, here's what he had to say about this, guys. Let's pull this up. Terra is like the Maker model or Maker DAO. If the only collateral you could post to create DAI is the Maker token itself, I'm pretty sure posting Maker as collateral to generate DAI is a terrible idea. I'm not a monetary expert, but it seems to me that Terra suffers from the same death spiral. So in this example, Terra is the stablecoin and Luna is the collateral. If Terra were to fall and break the peg in this sense, it would be US Terra. If that were to fall and break the peg, then it would depend on Luna to save Terra. Now, remember, Do Kwon stated in a tweet when this happened in 2021 that it's not necessarily the case. The UST stablecoin is not backed by Luna, but Luna would need to save Terra, but Luna would fall as investors would panic, and then Terra would continue to fall behind it. And then they would just keep contributing to each other's demise. This is exactly what happened to Nubits like 3 years ago. And he's kind of surprised that this idea is being tried again when it's so trivially broken. That being said, if I'm missing something and you want me to dig deeper, he'll be happy to do that for us. Now, I read this, guys. I started to go back throughout 2021, And I remember when all of the big name YouTubers, every last one of them was telling us Terra Luna is going to be the next Solana. Terra Luna is going to be the next Ethereum. Everybody was talking about Terra Luna, guys. But why? Why, when it had been researched and proven that it wasn't going to work? Maker is built the same way, so maybe Maker Die might be next. Or it could be Tron. Don't worry, we'll get to Tron in a second. But that was my immediate thinking when I read this one, guys. And I'm like, okay, so if people knew this was a failure and yet they promoted it anyway, what does that say about them? Now, let's get into Anchor Labs. It was Anchor, the Anchor protocol, where a lot of this money began to move around, come from, be taken, whatever you want to describe. But when I read this was posted May 13th, Friday the 13th of all dates. And that's another thing too, notice, is the date numerology that all of these events are lining up on. There was a lunar eclipse, I believe, either last night. Yeah, it was last night. Okay. At the end of it all, at the end of this whole thing, we get a lunar eclipse and a blood moon. And now we have a bear market. And if this thing starts to pump for no reason in the following week, I don't need any more convincing. But Friday, May 13th, right? This is when the proposal for a class action lawsuit, it's time for some legal measures. This was posted in the Terra Research Forum. That's the link, of course, that I provided for us in the community tab where people can go and contribute, voice their opinion, so forth and so on. But this particular posting is on Anchor's forum. All right. A lot similar, but it's on Anchor's forum. And not a lot of people are talking about how Anchor is involved. Okay. But the